Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome tonight to the UNAC Finals live stream coming at you.
I'm going to be one of your hosts, Boogie.
And I'm going to be your other host, Mad Dog, and this is Warband NA.
Can you guys believe it? We finally here. This time we're going live. And just to save you the delay from last time, we're going to get right into it. These guys are ready to fight.
These teams have dueled. I don't think they've dueled tonight. I think they dueled, or they didn't have to duel. That's right.
Of course not, Mad Dog.
That's what a week off does to you, Boogie. So they didn't have to duel. They're coming in. They had preset seeds. WK has chosen Frosty Battle Top. And we're waiting for a faction from BKS. So as opposed to last week where we had lots of time to fill, we got no time to fill this week. And I'm feeling pretty good about that, Boogie.
Oh, me too. I think you guys all heard what we said last week, and we could just repeat it all over for you again, which I would feel comfortable doing, by the way. I just love talking. But we are going to get you right into this, and hopefully it is as exciting as we all hoped it would be.
If you really need some kind of intro, just go watch what we did last week, and then let this play out. Don't even come back on and watch the recording of this afterwards. I'm kidding. Come back to the live stream, people. So let's put this in a nutshell real quick. Two teams, good teams, fought all season. They're here to fight for the finale of UNAC. $200 plus on the line. Warband Major Esport. Here we go.
Oh man, I am pumped. That is a lot of money too. $200. Even though it's dispersed, I mean, BKS is gonna have the BKS swag T-shirts. WK, I don't know what they're doing. Probably blowing hookers, but it's still gonna be fantastic. I wouldn't know what to do if I was a team captain.
I'd buy some more, magic cards or something.
Oh yeah. Definitely nothing to do with Warband. So that is the most amount, and hopefully hopefully we keep on having that kind of money from everybody else.
That's right. We're after your money, people. So I've actually set up a personal PayPal that you could feel free to send you could send donations for future tournaments that I'm definitely going to hold. So you can go ahead and send that to me, and I'll make sure that gets to people when they win these tournaments that I'm going to host in the future.
If there's a person called Little Noob Jackson, he is watching with Big Double G Z, you are now a special guest for the night for BKS. Congratulations, buddy. It is your night.
Did it? Breaking news: BKS has chosen Nords. Dun dun dun.
Man, if only we could afford our own different sound effects besides Mad Dog's beautiful, beautiful orchestra in his mouth.
Come on, I've been working on that all week.
Yeah, we had a week to just find out how we could do it. We do have, so it doesn't look like anybody's missing this time. I mean, last week we had Robert Bruce missing. We also had Joe missing for BKS. Harn had the connectivity issues, and it was a few people down. It looks like everyone's here though. I don't see anybody from WK or BKS that are missing.
Yeah, luckily Harn paid his internet bill this week, so he finally got internet back.
It took a while, but we got it all here.
They made it sound all nonchalant. Yeah, his DNS server is down. Yeah, he didn't pay his stinking bill.
Oh boy. That's the worst timing for that too.
So here we are. WK has chosen Swadia. Nords versus Swadia on Frosty Battle. WK is going to be top spawn, BKS bottom spawn. A map that is very well known by both teams. WK had some early success on it against GA. And BKS has had some time to adjust, adapt, and kind of figure out the ins and outs of the map. Couple of key points are, most of the masters are controlled by the kind of the village spawn, the one with the and the ruin on that side. So I expect to see a lot of action there. Another hotspot is going to be the windmill. So as always, we have our awesome cameraman E-Man in the shadows in the background. And if you guys like those shirts last week, that was all E-Man's doing. Let us know in chat. But he threw those together, 5-minute Photoshop. It was pretty awesome. But awesome cameraman E-Man's going to be capturing all the action for you.
Behind the scenes. He's still there in heart, guys. If you want that excitingness, he's definitely there.
But both me and Boogie are feeding off the energy. So I could just feel it here in TS.
Here in spirit.
He's with us in spirit. So looks like we're getting the final good to goes from each team, and we should be seeing a swap here pretty soon.
So let's go back to well, they are swapping right now, but we could talk about what do you think WK's strategy is going into Frosty Battle here, Mad Dog? What do you think their composition is going to be? There we go.
Cav and archers and infantry.
Oh my goodness, that is a risky bet right there.
That's the pro strat CWK coming out with. No, but they're definitely going to have at least 3 Cav, maybe 4. Frosty's Battle is an open map to where you can really work some Cav. They're going to have at least 2 archers, Lag, in either Kratok or Robert. And I'd see PPK and maybe Beer switching up in between infantry and Cav as needed. BKS, you're definitely going to see Harn, African, as some type of ranged. Van, Raid, be picking up the Cav duty. Tyrion will kind of flip-flop back and forth. Probably see Fredigern with a bow in his hand. So really, this kind of map, I'm expecting a pretty mixed, pretty balanced loadout from both teams, at least to start out with, and they're going to adjust as as the match unfolds, they'll see what they need and kind of throw that in there. Good thing about both these teams, they have a lot of players, have a lot of good depth to them, so they can fill those voids as needed. Definitely don't have very many one-trick ponies.
It will be interesting to see. I guarantee it. And they have swapped over to Frosty Battle. They have, I think on the next swap they'll be doing, we'll see the first round of the match.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster for both teams, and just a whole bunch of people that that really you would expect to see in the finals.
WK asking if BKS are ready. They reply they're ready, and here we go, guys. We
Not
will be
any
live.
Not any WK, our good buddy Kratok.
Oh, definitely the Kratok, the one and only.
Old buddy, old pal Kratok.
All right.
Swapping, we're going live here.
That little guy with the offer of $100 and he'll headshot raid every single spawn. Oh, that's funny. Alright, well, WK comes out with a composition of only Cav and archers. 4 Cav, 3 archers. No infantry, so you're wrong on that, Mad Dog.
Gosh.
And BKS with that mixed composition. Actually, Vanadar, the only Cav for BKS. A lot of infantry. 4 infantry, 2 archers, 1 Cav for BKS.
They must have heard me talking on the stream and just wanted to prove me wrong.
BKS moving up to windmill right here. WK taking a approach that is encircling BKS at windmill. If you look at that map right now, you can see that WK is all over the place.
Yeah, WK has definitely picked up a number of key positions on the map. Really kind of funneling BKS, to hold their spawn, hold around that windmill right now.
BKS is waiting at windmill. It looks like they're not going to move until the flag spawns or an opportunity arises. We do have a few Cav battles going back and forth, it looks like. With Vanadar, the only Cav for BKS.
See 2 great lances, Calamity, Geldon. This is definitely, this is not surprising at all. We're going to see both teams feeling each other out this early in the match. Each one wants to see what the other's bringing to the table, and nobody really wants to show their hand too early.
And BKS gets that lucky spawn right there. Master pops right next to windmill. Let's see what WK has to do to respond to that.
It's definitely the most favorable for BKS.
Achilles moves up to BKS's spawn. He's an archer. He's now on the ladder. It's a side shot on Harn and Tyrion. Lagstro's sitting at Brew all the way back. He's moving up the ruins. Their Cav is flying by. Wiley is very, very low on health and is trying to get some something going right there with some couches. Here comes that WK Cav. Freak gets a headshot on Bruce. Ray takes down PPK. Harn hits Wiley, who horses stopped against the there we go. Calamity goes down. He's still up though, but he goes down to Joe after taking down Frit. And that BKS crash didn't work out so well for him. Raid is facing a 1v1 against Raid. He goes down. Geldon's trying to do something against Raid right there. And it looks like he's going to save his horse. Oh, nope, he's going in for raid. Trying to finish him off with this last second, do something. But with 20 seconds left, it doesn't look like much is going to happen for WK. Ray gets a throwing axe hit on Achilles.
I'd say BKS playing it real smart. I'd probably be after Achilles and Geldon right now, trying to make sure that they don't keep their gear and are able to upgrade next round. But that's really what Geldon was trying to do with Raid. You know, Nords can armor up very, very quickly. That map, that round was really well played by BKS. They had one guy just floating on the cav, putting the pressure on WK to do something, but the rest of the guys were really safe. And WK cav just ran right in that wall. They were able to get a couple of them down early, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I really think WK relied on their crossbowmen to do some work right there, and their crossbowmen didn't get any shots. And that really was the downside right there. WK crashing early on Frit. Ooh, Geldon misses the couch. That couch with the Great Lance is really tough to do. And now Vanadar's chasing him with some jabs.
Nords get those free jabs. I can already see 2 or 3 sticking out of Geldon's horse. Van kind of ran into the hot zone with Achilles pushing up their spawn.
And now he's getting hit by Geldon and Calamity, both with Great Lances right now. And they're just bumping him. One of them needs to switch out to take him down. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Geldon gets Calamity rather gets the couch on Vanadar, takes him down. So BKS without their cap right now. Wiley and Vanadar are both down. Both of them are cap. Yep, BKS still sitting at the windmill right there. Here's a Great Lance sitting out in the open. It doesn't look like they want to pick it up and give it to Vanadar. I think Vanadar is going to stay with his sword and jabs. PPK is moving up on the BKS horde. At least he's gonna see if he can surprise one of them. And it looks like they got a good spread with Robert, Bruce, Achilles, and Lagstro. BKS is moving towards Lagstro and Achilles at their spawn. And Geldon gets about every BKS going in to hit somebody. But he just does some bumps. And looks like Achilles might get out of there. Harn is trying to chase him down. Misses a few throwing axes.
African was able to pop down Geldon's horse there with a quick shot.
Lagstro tried to side on the hill and get some side shots on him, but BKS spotted him out really quickly. The flag is popped in the ruins, and BKS is en route to get it. Geldon following up. Brit and Joe right there. PPK behind. He might hit up African here soon. Tyrion takes down Lagstro with a jab. And looks like Africans have to take down PPK here soon. Achilles by himself against 4 BKS. Looks like Robert the Bruce is going to help him out. Calamity's horse goes down to a throwing axe by Tyrion. And Tyrion finishes him off. Ray gets shot by Achilles from the ruins. PPK is facing African. He finally gets over there. BKS moving up. Finishes off African. The flag is slightly in BKS's favor with 30 seconds left to go. 3 WK are moving on it with Tyrion and Joe holding it. We got a small fight. Harn versus Robert Bruce, and Harn takes him down. PPK trying his best with an all-pike versus 2 BKS. He goes down. Achilles is the last one standing. That was a really good push by BKS.
Tyrion, madman with the throne, and then a madman on the flag. That is exactly the 2 people I'd want to have on the flag, Tyrion and Joe, trying to take that flag. And BKS had to go the long way around, try and wrap all those crossbows off their flanks, and they did a good job. hit a double tap on lag to where he couldn't kite back and just wrapped it to the flag. WK had the angles, but they just couldn't close the deal.
And that was really impressive from BKS.
We'll see if they switch it up here a little bit. This might be where I might start making a couple of adjustments, and I can already see in their positioning they've changed it up.
Wiley goes in for a couch on Raid, who has his spear out and gets taken down really early. That was, I don't know if that was what he was thinking right there, but...
That was a repeat of last round.
Yeah, but he didn't have any help there. He didn't crash with anybody else. He just went on his own. It was really weird.
Might have been a missed call, a little miscommunication, something like that. Both teams stacked basically face to face on opposite sides of this windmill.
BKS has the numbers. They could push, but WK has the cav. BKS has Vanadar as the only cav still. 2 archers in Fritigern and African. And of course you have Tyrion, Joe, Raid, and Harn as the infantry. PPK with that all pike. Also has a sword on his side. Sitting with Robert Bruce. Raid and Harn are pushing up against PPK. They're seeing what's over there. See if they like it. They see Lagstro sitting back in the trees. And they're going to push up on Bruce and PPK with their throwing axes. But they respect Lagstro's support right there. And Achilles' support right there also. Achilles went on the left side as Raid went on the left. They just kind of circled around, and I think Raid didn't see that call, or BKS didn't call it out. So Achilles got the shot on Frit. And while that was happening, Van took down Geldon's horse, and Tyrion finishes him off. Calamity came in with a couch, took down Tyrion's shield, but didn't get the kill. Then flag is popped. It's a minute and 30 left. Tyrion is on the flag. Calamity's trying to slow him down for their archers to get in. Calamity's low on health from those throwing axes, and BKS are dead on with those throwing axes. They've hit about everyone I've seen thrown. African and Raid are by the brew right now. Achilles is in the open. And Harn and Van are going to see if they can take him down. Got fighting around the, wow, nice shot by Lagstro from the brew. He's chasing African now. I'm not sure if African knows he's there. He does. And PPK and Raid are on the flag. African and Lagstro by the brew. Lagstro's waiting his time. Well, that's very patient of Lagstro. PPK takes down Raid on the flag. And Tyrion's now on the flag also. The flag is slightly raised in WK favor, I think. Nice hit by Calamity right there with the Great Lance. Lagstro finishes off African. PPK takes down Calamity and his horse. Oh man, Lagstro, that's 2 team kills. Like, they cannot happen. 1 second left and they lost it because of those team kills. Oh my goodness.
Holy crap. That was crazy. WK's got the numbers. They had the numbers on the flag. 2 critical TKs, and Tyrion holding that flag like a boss. That was intense. I was sitting there watching with my mouth open, just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
Man, I was looking at Lagstro and forgetting, because he was just so patient waiting on African to just expose himself for 1 second. And he just sat there forever. And finally he took him down by going through infantry, but man, that was just some intense conflict.
Wow, it really was. BKS got spread, they got down in numbers, but those 2 T kills, and somehow Tyrion held that flag with no shield versus a cav, an infantry, and a crossbow.
We got some cav conflict. Calamity and Geldon are trying to take down Vanadar. Vanadar is getting the best of them. BKS looks like they might be pushing around towards PPK and Lagster right now. Raid is going right for him. No, Raid falls back. It was just testing the waters right there. Oh man, he gets taken down by Laxtra close range. He tried to push by himself.
Probably just a little feint, trying to get him off that corner a little bit, make a little buffer, and Lag's the guy that can sneak it around that shield.
And here comes the push by BKS. Good bump by Vanadar, but oh my goodness, that was a big hit by Robert Bruce and Achilles, both getting headshots on a couch on Harn. Wow, and the tide has turned. WK has to pull this one out. And it is 2v WK. Tyrion and African doing their best right here. Surviving pretty long. African goes down against Calamity and Geldon. WK gets an ace. Wow.
That is an ace. I think they may have kind of cracked that nut of the windmill with all the infantry, that, or the early headshot versus against Raid, and then the timing was just really well done by WK. The cav and the crossbows focus and fire right there. Looks like they're pushing that windmill early, and BKS is doing something a little different.
Yep, and I'm not sure if this happened last time, I didn't see, but Wiley is now an infantryman. Didn't think he was doing that well as a cav, switched it over to help him out. A lot of armor for WK right now.
Yeah, Swadians after the recent patch are able to armor up really quick, and that's a smart thing to do, to start switching some comps up, especially if you go down a couple of rounds.
BKS took the ruins. It has 2 master spawns near it. It's a good area to defend. WK looks like they might try to get a spread, but actually they're all together at BKS spawn.
I think that's what they realized. I think they realized that we're not going to be able to just spread out and get these guys with angles. With Master really confined to really one key place on the map, and you got all 3 right there. Really, no matter where Master spawns, BKS can just wrap around, pull all the crossbows together on one side, and it just kind of nullifies the flanks that they were getting earlier.
WK playing for Master. BKS playing for Master also. See what they do when it hits right now. Right on BKS. Achilles all by himself up there. Getting a nice air angle attack on BKS's side. See what BKS does to respawn. Just let him be there. PPK and Wiley are moving up on the flag right now, pushing Raid and Tyrion. Joe is hanging tight near African and Frit in that ruin with Harn. And here comes WK Cav. Achilles gets a nice shot on African. That was that side hit. PPK watching for those Cav. Has his, or maybe he's watching those archers. Wiley is going one-on-one against Tyrion right now. Neither is taking a beating, but Wiley's shield is definitely going down. Wow, Achilles got one right out in the open. Got bumped by Vanadar. Frit hits him up. Vanadar takes down PPK. That's 2 big hits by Vanadar. Robert Bruce going 1v1 against Frit. Geldon takes down Van. Calamity takes down Joe. Still up. And that flag is slightly in BPKS's favor. Calamity takes down Raid right there. Gets back on a horse. Takes down Harn. That was a good hit by Calamity. Tyrion, last person standing, takes down Calamity, and it's a 2v2. Robert finishes off Frit in that 1v1 from a while ago. Tyrion still on the flag, slightly in his favor. Bruce finishes him off.
Wow.
I think every one of these rounds is just intense and wow.
Yeah, that was just a lot happening. Achilles got that side flank. He took his one shot, and if BKS could have kept the pressure on him, he wouldn't have been able to reload. But they were just looking. They had to look for others. That left Achilles open to get a couple more shots, and that's really what really started getting a couple of BKS down. A couple of key kills with the Great Lance, one from Geldon, two from Calamity, and WK was right back in it. BKS had a little early lead right after Master popped, but WK was able to pull it back. So it looks like they're settling in and really trying to find how they're going to work this map. We may see a close set after all.
BKS all lined up against that wall on the windmill. WK has a nice angles with Robert Bruce near Achilles on the far right for them, and the Electro near the logs. If PPK and Wiley fight right against that, right there, they're not gonna have any help from Electro, and that's why they're backing off right there. But they're also not gonna get any help from Achilles right now. And so here we go. A lot of fighting going on. Frit and Harn sitting near that. Frit and African right against that rock with their archers. Vanadar finishes off Wiley. Calamity gets a good bump. Not much damage though. PPK takes down Joe. Wow, PPK is going really strong right now. Takes down Frit also. Got Frit and African. Wow, he takes down African. Now PPK 3 in a row right now. He needs to take down Tyrion real fast here. Uh-oh. What Achilles and Calamity were facing off against Harn right there. Achilles finished off Calamity accidentally. He's trying to take down Harn. Lagstro helps him out on the flag. It is Lagstro and Achilles, both crossbows, against Tyrion and Raid. Both very low in health, but Lagstro and Achilles about the same. Flag is getting raised. Wow, nice hit by Lagstro. Raid has to do something here. He's going to charge Lagstro. And Lagstro does his classic kick. Gets him down.
Like that, I did kind of see that coming. That time, really because of PPK doing the work on the ground, the crossbow flank worked. Really, what BKS did was when they saw Achilles flank out to the side and Lagstro playing back, they pushed in, which really gave them the numbers advantage. But because PPK was able to hold out and one or two cav kills, that made that, even though they were spread out and BKS had the numbers advantage, they just couldn't quite capitalize on it. Both teams staring each other down at the windmill once again. This is it for the set, going in 3-3. Winner of this is going to take this set, and WK has done an awesome job of fighting back here.
BK is pushing around that right side full. Oh, Geldon tries to go for a bump, gets stopped. BKS is charging those crossbows best as they can. Good bump by Calamity. PK finishes off Frit, who got bumped by Calamity. And we got a lot of conflict going on right here. Calamity finishes off Raid, who was trying to stop and kill Geldon. Vanador's horse goes down. Looks like WK has the momentum right now. Tyrion, Vanador, and African has to do something. A lot of cabs still up. Wiley finishes off African. Calamity finishes off Tyrion, and Vanador's the last man standing, but that is another ace for WK. They come back strong.
That cav.
Man, that cab won that one. Geldon gets stopped. Both BKS are looking at the stopped cab, and Calamity comes in and finishes him off.
Cav was very much the deciding factor there. I'm surprised to see BKS didn't add at least one or two, especially with the Nords. They had the Javs try and combat the Great Lances that WK was bringing forth. They could have done a little early skirmishing, maybe weaken the horse or get the rider, something along those lines.
I really think they were trying to push those crossbows right there to stop them from firing. It looked like they had a good idea right there. It's just WK's cav like split up their forces really fast, and then WK held strong and really didn't go down fast, and their cav just finished them up.
So WK fighting back, taking the first set. BKS still, good to go going into the in the second set, taking 3 rounds, only 1 round difference, and we buckle up, people. We may be in for another roller coaster ride like we were last time.
Oh man, I hope so. And then, this last round, this last map set, just like shows what this new tournament format's all about. BKS was up 3-0, and then WK went back and won the set. I mean, with how it was previously, it would have been over 3-1.
Yep.
So it really shows you how we changed the rules for the betterment.
Yeah, absolutely. Give the teams a chance to fight back. And I think that's a huge testament to a team being down 3-0 and then coming back to win the set. That's absolutely huge for morale. It's big at demoralizing the other team.
Man, I would not want to be BKS right there, losing that set 0-4. But I'm sure they have a plan to win it on this one. Maybe they'll come out and do the same thing they did last time and get those 3 sets right in a row, or 3 rounds right in a row.
Seeing here, I think BKS really needs to start leveraging their cav a little more. I feel WK is going to be just as effective on as Nord cav as they are as Swadia. Just substitute the javelins for the Great Lands.
Yeah, and I really thought Vanadar was doing a fantastic job with Geldon, Calamity, and Wily. He was keeping them at bay for most of it in the very early. In every engagement they had early on, it really felt like Vanadar was coming out ahead. It's just he couldn't finish them off. He couldn't take down their horses, and since there was too many of them, he couldn't get every one of them.
Yep, he didn't have the backup. He'd stop one, he'd get a good hit on one, and then the second one would come in and nab him. Like a kidnapper. Oh no, the kidnapped van. Let us know what you think of that in chat.
We have probably about the highest viewership we've had so far, that I've seen anyway. 66 people all here to watch the finals match. And here we go, it's swapped now. Looks like this might be live, guys.
Well, that's why we did it the way we did last week. We had to build that anticipation. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, they didn't play last week. We gotta watch it this week.
Alright, a completely different comp for BKS. You have 4 crossbows, 3 cav, and for WK we have 2 cav, 2 archers, 3 infantry. So a little bit more mixed for WK than BKS. BKS taking that windmill again. The little guy and African staying around it with their crossbows.
Lagstro as an infantry with PPK and Wily.
That's something I didn't expect to see at all.
It's kind of interesting.
Achilles and I assume Robert Bruce are the archers.
Yep, that's correct.
WK not getting into the ruins. They're just standing around that side right there. Calamity's protecting them. It really feels like they're just watching the time tick down until that flag comes up. And we got Harn all by himself by the brew house.
I wouldn't mind being at the brew house right now.
You can bring the brew house to yourself.
I like it, Boogie. Yeah, even after the swap, different factions, a little bit different feel, same map though. Once again, both teams feeling each other out.
And that flag pops right near WK. Little up on the hill. WK moving with PPK, Lagstro, Wiley, their infantry. Raid and Vanadar and Tyrion are on horses. Looks like they're trying to slow him down just a tad, but Geldon and Calamity are there to help him out.
Looks like BKS needed that minute so they could turn to the stream and see what Mad Dog thought they should do.
And they're gonna do the exact opposite. And Calamity couches little guy on his way to the ruins. Frit takes down Robert Bruce, who's all by himself against everybody. I think Frit called over the Cav, and Ray, Tyrion, and Van all came going. Calamity takes down African. That was both archers for BKS. We still got Harn at the brew house. Van by himself gets killed by Wiley and PPK. Ray gets off his horse, gets headshotted, or close to headshotted from Wiley close range with the throwing axe. Lagstro takes down Harn. Tyrion's by himself, takes down Achilles, and he is getting surrounded by Geldon and Calamity. Frit by himself misses the couch, but dies to Geldon's throwing. And WK takes that round.
I really think it was kind of the way that they approached the master. I probably would have wrapped everyone around the brew, get them all on one side. I think BKS got really kind of spread out there. A couple of loose ends. WK did a great job with a 1-2 bump. The front horse bumped African down. Calamity was right there and with the couch was able to pick it up. So they just got a little spread and they couldn't hold. BKS got spread and just couldn't hold on to the ends.
Joe subs for African, and he is now a crossbow. So that is 4 crossbow, 3 cav for BKS. And both Achilles and Bruce have taken hits from crossbow fire. Achilles goes down to Joe. That's what you get for not having a shield when trying to run through 4 crossbows shooting at you in the finals. And looks like Bruce is gonna go. PPK takes a hit also. Harn has a nice angle on WK, and Wiley and PPK do not see little guy. Wow, he misses his shot on PPK. PPK still doesn't see him.
There
he goes down. Wow. That was a bad call by Wiley. I figured Wiley might have told him that. He's about to get hit by Cav, incoming right now. He's still standing out there between 2 crossbows. He gets taken down by Raid. Tried to go for little guy by himself. Didn't work out so well. And WK are down 3, and it looked like BKS had one more than them, or somebody left for WK. That flag spawns right near Harn on the hill. Calamity takes down Vanadar. Bruce takes down Harn. That's a good turn of events for WK. It is now a 4v5. Oh, but Bruce did not see Frit at that rock, and he goes down. A lot of sneaky play from BKS to get those people, or bad communication from WK. One of the you got a Lagstro on the flag, and he's surrounded by crossbows. Gets taken down. Calamity has low health. Geldon's horse goes down to Joe, and Frit, and Joe finishes him off. Calamity has 0 health and probably just gonna try to survive.
That was a crossbow spread if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I think WK just did not expect to have that many crossbows from all angles firing on. It's a good maneuver by BKS.
Plus, Joe is a crossbow. That's ballsy.
Well, he did pretty dang well. Getting 2 kills right there. And they're just letting Calamity stay put.
Yeah, I probably would have went and put some pressure on him.
And Calamity is a really good cav. I can understand why BKS just wants to play it safe.
But yeah, that was that was pretty much BKS doing what WK was trying to do the first 2 rounds of the last set, get that crossbow spread, and BKS just went over and above and had them in every corner of the map, and really making shots from distance, which is really the key part of making that that spread work. You're reducing your manpower at one point, so the people who are out on the edges, they really have to make the long distance shots for that to work.
Bruce take another hit trying to get to ruins, and BKS has that spread again. I think surprised WK didn't make any moves right there to take down the crossbowmen. WK does not have any infantry this time. 4 cav, all staying in their spawn area. I'm not sure if BKS has spotted that now. BKS trying to get that spread again. They moved up little guy with protection from Raid and Vanada. And here we go, some conflict right now. Geldon Calamity taking on Raid and Vanadar on horses. PPK, Wiley were taking on somebody else. PPK finishes off Tyrion, who took down Wiley. He got stopped when he did. He's trying to take on Joe right here. Raid is protecting him pretty well. Now, Vanadar tried to get off Joe, but PPK finishes off his horse. Bruce took down Frit. Frit was on that run. Harn is by the brew house. He's going to stop from Geldon, because Geldon has some jabs out, making sure he can't reload. Raid and Vanadar try to stop him, but looks like that flag is right near WK. Lagstro and Bruce are both near it. PPK hops off his horse and starts to raise it. I think he might have just seen a little guy who got him right before in the same spot. I hope.
Fool me once.
Little guy.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Little guy getting his spot up higher where Achilles was last round. Getting that side view. Bruce is going up on his way. Gets a hit from Raid, and Vanadar does not finish off his hit. There we go, he finishes him off there. Bruce missed his though. Geldon finished off Raid, he went for Achilles. And Vanadar is by the horse, on his horse, with little guy up top. Joe is moving up. Oh no, Joe's staying back. Vanadar goes into that ruin and tries to take on Lagstro and Geldon. Both Geldon and Calamity both crash. Lagstro, Calamity's now going for the crossbowman, Harn, and doesn't look like Harn's going to be able to reload. Little guy is moving up against PPK. Joe is moving up on the ruins with Lagstro. He finishes off really quickly, and it looks like Joe's going to be going for that flag against PPK. Little guy has to face on Geldon right here. Achilles is by himself on the hill. Here comes Calamity on Joe. Gets a good bump, finishes him off. Gets a stab on little guy. Little guy still has a little bit of health. Nice bump again. Geldon gets 2 swipes on him. That is 3 swipes on him with that armor. And Calamity has 2 really good bumps. And finally finishes him off.
Little guy fighting his little heart out.
Man, he had so many lucky swipes right there from a lot of glance.
WK was ready for it that time. BKS tried to do the same thing, and WK was just ready with their cav, set it up a little bit better. we're really good at putting pressure, keeping the crossbows from reloading, exploiting their weakness, that rate of fire. And here, WK getting a little spread of their own, already pushing Frit back from the brew.
Yeah, I think WK's call right there was to crash on their crossbows, act like it's an all cav, or make sure they can't move or do their spread, and so that way their archers can move up on the ruins without taking hits. It was a good strategy by WK. And now Achilles is off on his own against Harn and Frit. I'm assuming BKS is probably going to crash on Achilles all by himself. But they have a lot of conflict going on. Wiley finished off a little guy. And we got a lot of cav play right now. PPK, Wiley, and Calamity versus Raid, Vanadar, and Tyrion.
WK putting those jabs to good use with the cav and picking up little guy early.
Achilles and Frit exchanged fire. They both took a hit. Frit is very low in health, and so is Achilles. Achilles is about half. Wiley got a good hit on Harn right there. And Frit, Harn, and Joe are all near the brew house. It's the exact opposite strategy they've been using before. They don't have the spread anymore. Let's see how it affects. PPK off his horse again on that flag, raising it for WK. Joe and Frit and Harn are all moving up on the hillside. Bruce sees him, taking hits on him. Looks like they're moving for that ruin right now. Achilles is in the ruin. He's gonna have to face against all these crossbows. Van going in. Didn't hit Bruce. Goes off his horse. He's gonna face PPK. I think Calamity just sacrificed his horse to save PPK right. Gelton took down Frit right there behind the ruins. Joe got into the ruin. Gelton with his jab hit killed Tyrion. He's really good. Joe is full health on the ruins, but that flag is mostly raised by PPK. Gelton finished off Raid right there. Gets a good bump on Joe. And Calamity finishes him off with a cap.
That crossbow spread, you know, it worked one round, worked really good. It caught him by surprise. It's not really working anymore. I really think BKS could do good to add a couple of infantry, at least one or two, to try and get some protection from these cav. The crossbows just don't have the mobility. They don't have the rate of fire to deal with these cav out in the open. And I'm already seeing it. Yep, 2 infantry dropped in already for BKS.
Make that 3 infantry. Harn comes in infantry too. So instead of having a lot of crossbows, they go 3 infantry strong, 1 crossbow, 3 cav.
I could see this. I could see this working for them if they work it right.
Doing a different approach, not going towards windmill, not going towards ruins, sticking back home, staying near their spawn. That's BKS. WK on the other hand, getting a nice spread with their archers. Bruce in the middle. Achilles moved all the way over to Brewhouse already. I think they're both archers. WK has a lot of room to move with their cav. Laxtro is at spawn on the wall. And then the rest for WK are cav, floating about.
There we go, BKS moving. They were just doing a little delay there, really. They were letting the timer get down lower before they committed to moving.
WK crashes on him. Didn't really get anybody there. Got a hit on Vanadar though. Flagstro takes a hit from Frit right there. Master spawns on Ruins. BKS still at Windmill. WK has Bruce. He raised it a little bit in favor of WK. BKS is moving towards the flag. Lagstra by himself against Tyrion and Raid on the top. Goes down really quickly to Tyrion. BKS moving up very strong on the left side against the wall, the map edge, towards that flag. Bruce is sitting on the ruins. Geldon gets off his horse to raise it just a little bit more for BKS, or WK. Raid comes around. Wiley misses a couch. Calamity stops Raid, but nothing happens with that. Joe has his all-pike out. Vanadar takes down Achilles. African sitting on that hill. Tyrion takes down Bruce. And looks like that infantry is really helping him out. Calamity takes on, wow, Tyrion and Harn, just right one after another. And it's PPK and Calamity versus Joe, Frit, Van, and African and Raid. PPK off his horse, no shield. African with his crossbow misses his first. Looks like Calamity's just running for his life. PPK is gonna just run around and try to survive, but doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Vanadar finishes. Calamity saves his health and rides another game.
Well, of course, Calamity has the best KD when they lose the round, but he hides in the back corner. But that right there is exactly what BKS needed to do. The infantry gave them the mobility to move around the map, and just take those key positions that the crossbows weren't offering. So bringing a little balance back to their lineup netted them some profit.
WK hasn't switched up. BKS same adds one more archer. So they have 2 crossbows, 3 infantry, 2 cavs, so they drop a cav and add an archer. Let's see what WK does to respond to their new strategy. Beat Vanadar and Raid. Looks like they might be going for Achilles here. Achilles all by himself near Brewhouse.
WK
Vanadar dropped off his. Vanadar went off his horse. Raid has very low health now. He took a hit from Achilles. Didn't seem like it worked out for BKS because they couldn't finish off Achilles real fast. And now WK's horses are, wow, all there. And Geldon finishes off Vanadar. Really, that was a risky maneuver for BKS. It didn't pay off.
Well, that was happening.
Raid survives, but he doesn't have any health. And his horse is really low.
Yeah, it looks pretty beat up. While that was going on, the rest of BKS has moved into WK's spawn, position themselves for flag, which is coming in 2 seconds.
Flag spawns on the same spot it did last time. Looks like BKS is probably going to do the same strategy where they're going to walk their way up that map edge on this hillside. Frit's already on top of the hill. Wiley and PPK off their horses on the flag. Both don't really have good shields. Lagstro, Achilles, on the hill and on the ruins, shooting down on BKS right now. And Frit takes down Achilles, who's on the hill. That was a jab that killed.
That was a jab that he
Good
picked
kill
up from the Nord Cap.
And PPK Wiley still alive. Take down Rage Horse. Wiley gets a jab on Tyrion's side. Raid's very low on. And Lagstro finishes him off. And looks like unless Frit, African, and Harney can do something here. Let's see what happens, guys. Frit is facing a 1v1 against Lagstro inside the ruin. Gets a hit on. And that's over for BKS. The rounds are 8-5 for this map. 8-5 WK.
8-5 going into the second map. Second map, Random Plains has already been thrown out by BKS. You can see the second set, BKS was really trying to find the groove. Got a little success here and there. Weren't able to pull anything out really. And that last round, they were just crazy flanked by archers. Achilles was, even though I had taken down early, he provided a huge distraction, being that high on the hill.
And also in the early round, getting off Vanadar really early really helped WK right there. Taking that one guy. One guy can turn the tide real fast. It was a good call by Achilles. He saw Raid and Vanadar going for him. He gets out in the open, calls his cab over, and takes a few shots on Raid and Vanadar, and takes him. Land your shots, you're going to be a good archer. That is my John Maddenism of the...
That was a good one, Buggy. Do you have that written down somewhere? You know, pull that from your
I
notes.
have like a list of them, dude. I just read off sometimes just to see if anybody can catch.
That was great. I've always seen Cav as like the air support of Warband. You get into trouble, you know, you call in the Cav.
Yep, there you go. Oh shit! Cav, come.
Exactly. Help. So pretty. We got Random Plains, Serenade for WK,
Serenade.
Vega for BKS. Kind of a classic, very classic matchup. Apparently, Geldon is European as opposed to Canadian because he needs some type of pee break.
Oh.
Oh, I wasn't even making a pun on European and peeing. That was an NC joke. But I see where you went with that, Boogie. That was good.
Yeah.
So far, man, a ton of close rounds, a ton of not so close rounds. You can definitely see when teams are clicking and when they're not. WK started out slow, had to really find their groove, and once they did, they've been rolling pretty solid. Going to move to a little bit more open arena, which both teams are comfortable with, and we'll see which one is going to come out on top.
You know, last time I saw WK in Random Plains, they're against TMW, and they didn't do well. So in my opinion, BKS is really comfortable on Random Plains compared to TMW. So I think this could be an interesting round. Even though I think WK is a fantastic cav, I'm not sure how well they're gonna do when it's just all cav or Random Plains cav. Maybe they're good with the buildings around the mixed composition of the map, but maybe not so well against Random Plains. We'll see how.
Well, one big difference between this match and the previous match that these guys had in the round robin is that BKS is coming down 3 rounds already, so they're going to have to make up a little bit of ground as opposed to the last match. They went into the second map dead even, and really it stayed dead even until the very last round. So
actually, wasn't the last map of the for WK versus BKS, wasn't that Random Plains also?
Oh, indeed it was, Boogie. And of course, our handy dandy cameraman behind the scenes has got his work cut out for him, trying to bring all the action that's going to be happening on random planes. I just made E-Man sound like a something you sell on an infomercial. Your handy dandy cameraman behind the scenes.
Now for $99.99.
Today and today only. If you call
within
right,
the next 30 seconds, and we will include a BKS swag t-shirt or a UNAC final stream t-shirt.
you'll get free shipping, and heck, we'll throw in Kradock.
I'm still waiting for Kradock's debut. Hopefully it happens some.
We'll see what happens. I know in matches like this, you know, there are times where I'm so focused on what's going on, I have the thought of making substitutions and bringing other people in doesn't even come up. It's just you're focused on what you're gonna be doing next round, what you need to improve on. You know, keeping your guys, just giving a little pep talk, keeping the spirits high, giving a few marching orders, and you know, personnel swaps don't even come to mind.
Do you guys do songs in between? I mean, that seems like what happens right there. To keep that morale high, you start singing songs.
We do not sing songs. Do you guys sing songs, Buggy?
I sing songs.
Okay, see.
I don't sing it to anybody else, but I hum a little.
Okay, so feeling a little awkward right now. Wishing email wasn't muted so he could say something. We're finding things out, folks, about Boogie here. Let me know what you think about that in chat.
Buy shirts.
Oh yes, and E-Man says buy our shirt. West Night, Best Nights, BKS, dueling in real life since 1986.
We're taking pre-orders. We're gonna get these things made up, but you're gonna want to go ahead and order these and send me the money for them, because we're definitely, if you send me money, yeah, we'll definitely get you some shirts at some time. Just send me money, please, for the love of God.
Money to Mad Dog, and it will cost you about 110% more. Money to Boogie, it's 90%. Think about that.
You capitalist pig, undercutting me.
So, we're still waiting on the Switch. BKS is ready to go. WK obviously has the bladder of a whale.
Apparently, Gellin is spending some extra quality time in the bathroom. I don't know what's going on here.
While he's playing at the same time. This is very interesting.
Got in there, got distracted, maybe? I'm not sure.
Maybe he has like a laptop and he, you know, can move himself. But that would mean he has to pee while sitting down.
This is bringing up images I just didn't want to see tonight, Boogie. We're...
Alright. So, looks like we might be live for this one, I guess.
Nah, it's gonna be a reroll with the stream down the middle.
There's cliff textures on this one, so it's definitely not going to be.
That's like a canyon through the middle.
Another cliff texture.
Dear Terrell Worlds, if you're watching this stream, please fix random planes. Sincerely.
Cliff texture again.
I don't know. I really think a programmer like missed a decimal point or something.
Alright, well, it surely is random. That is for sure. And looks like this one's going to be our map here.
Thinking this might get re-rolled, actually. I agree with
BKS
Tyrion.
is not going in.
Agree with Tyrion. It'd be wrong to do a finals where we didn't have a 6 reroll random planes.
And BKS is reroll. Looks like this one's the one we're gonna do then.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah, I foresee this getting played.
Alrighty. It looks like WK going all cap. BKS with their light cap. And we will try our best to get
Streamer
you the
handed out.
best intel we can, but we do not have stream. And I see 3 archers, 4 archers looks like from BKS. Alrighty, there we go. BKS, Calamity comes in with a crash, doesn't get any. Fidel comes in with a crash, gets the little guy. Here comes Achilles, doesn't get anything. Some stopped horses from BKS. Raid goes down. Geldon finishes him off. Achilles takes down Harn. African low health from Wiley. There is our co-streamer Kratok facing off against African. Lagstro takes him down. That's another ace for WK.
Couldn't quite see what happened. Looked like a very quick pounce by WK. And BKS has gone all cab to match.
I do not see a hunter or higher. It is a bunch of coursers. It should be interesting to see. And this is probably the toughest part of calling, is a bunch of cav fight, but we'll do our PPK getting chased by a lot of BKS. WK following him out.
Achilles' horse taking a little damage
Good
there.
stop from Geldon and Frit. Nobody capitalizes on it though. Lagstro following Frit. I'm not sure if he sees Raid or Vanadar. He gets out of there. Tyrion in the mix right here. Joe takes down Achilles' horse from the side. I didn't see him. And he took another stab from Tyrion. He's all by himself. And we still have a few cav battle going up. We gotta stop. Wiley goes down to Joe again. Joe, 2 horses down. Feeling pretty good by himself, right? Frit going in the mix right here. Didn't get anybody. Achilles walking over to support with Wiley right now. And PPK's horse goes down. A lot of missed couches from BKS. PPK is still up. No horses are down from BKS. Flag is in the middle. It's walking distance for Wiley and PPK and all the guys. BKS is moving over. Vanderai gets a hit on Calamity. Tyrion and Frit try to go on PPK. Raid finishes him off. Slow lance. Wiley gets a hit on Frit. And Tyrion takes him down. Kratok goes down to African. The Cav v Cav. Wiley by himself gets taken down by African from a couch. Frit loses his horse. First horse down from BKS. Geldon gets hit by Harn and Tyrion goes down. Raid team kills Frit. And Joe does a nice bump.
That's BKS justice for losing your horse.
Yeah. Raid is off his horse on the flag. Lagstro still up with Calamity. Let's see what they do here. Harn finishes off Calamity. Lagstro's gonna go, and he's not gonna do too much right now. He's maybe looking for some cap hits. Kills African. Joe's right behind him. Doesn't get anything. Lagstro gets a hit on Joe. Joe's horse, that is. Tyrion comes in from the couch, misses it. And Tyrion gets back on. Ooh, almost dies right there to Lag. And that is the end. Takes down one guy and finishes off Tyrion's horse. Pretty good for staying alive. But BKS took the round and took it pretty handily.
Lag bringing some attention to himself there. Not a whole lot I can tell you there. BKS just did some really good cav work. One guy was the bait, two guys came in from the side. They got a couple of horses down early, and snowballed from there. One interesting thing is WK was kind of a little more focused on the flag, and BKS really honed in on the guys that they had dismounted earlier, got them down first, and then took the flag.
Joe takes a hit from Lagstro. Got a lot of work right here.
Both teams spread out across the map, almost two separate battles going on, and the first horse gets dropped. Looks like Fritz's horse.
Joe's horse goes down from PPK. Oh, PPK misses barely on the bump stat. Ray comes in to protect Joe. Here comes WK following African. And he loses his horse. Achilles takes down Vanadar, who is trying to get Achilles. He thought he'd take down African, but actually went for Vanadar. Ray loses his horse to Wiley. And a lot of bumps right there. Geldon finishes him off. Tyrion is getting chased. Nice couch from Harn, takes down PPK's horse. And Joe and Frit are by themselves against a tree right here. Achilles tries to go in for him. Bad move. Goes down to Joe and Frit. PPK now going infantry against him. Gets time for Lagstro to take him down. Joe takes down PPK. Wiley takes down Tyrion. Wiley gets his horse stopped, and that helps Geldon finish off Harm, who stops his horse on Wiley's stopped horse. Lagstro finishes off Joe. African's last guy standing. Nice hit by Geldon.
BKS getting to the dangerous mark here.
10-7. WK right now.
10-6, I believe.
Oh, you know what? It was the round they lost. I was looking at. I should have reached the fake round is what I was looking.
Ah, right.
10-6, you're right.
Yep, 10-6. BKS gonna have to just kind of step it up. They're gonna have to bang it a little better than WK does.
And already Raid's low in health. Tyrion has half health. African misses the couch right there. Also has been stabbed. Oh, PPK loses his horse. No, not loses. Gets his horse stopped. Raid tries to comes in, but kills Raid. PPK does. Frit takes down PPK's horse. Geldon doing some stabs. African finishes the horse right next to PPK.
African, that so monster.
PPK can't... I know. Animal cruelty, man. I don't know what they think about horses in Africa, but obviously it's not something.
They don't think much about him at all, apparently.
Lagstro takes down Harn's horse. And Vanadar wins a lance duel with Lagstro. Frit loses his horse right next to Lagstro. Lagstro doesn't see him. Geldon takes down Tyrion. And we got a little fight against, oh, Geldon just finished up. Lagstro jumps on the horse. It looks like WK is going to win this one. And this Vanadar goes crazy right now. And Kraydog takes down Vanadar's horse. Joe's on the ground by himself against Geldon and Calamity. And Calamity finishes off Vanadar with a nice bump stab. And African once again, last guy.
A lot of maneuverability
Against Wild.
WK has with these horses. If I were BKS, I would almost pick up an archer. He's got enough cover to where he can kind of stay healthy and soften up these horses some.
Wiley finishes off African after it seemed like Lagstro took down his horse. Does BKS change their composition? No. Yes, they do. No?
Nope.
They do not. Achilles comes in as the lone archer for WK. So WK switches it up just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what BKS does for the sacrificial lamb, as Wiley liked to call it. And we got a lot of cab battling going on. Achilles is all out in the open. Really far out in the open. African tried to go in for a swipe, missed him. I think Geldon missed his couch right there. Kraydog loses his horse to a couch from African. I don't think Kraydog knows where Achilles is. He's out in the middle of the field, now starting to run towards. Got another cav hit from WK. He takes down Raid's horse. Tyrion gets a nice couch on PPK off the horse. Joe loses his shield to a cap. Lagstro finishes off Raid. Raid took up a horse. Got out of there, but died to Lagstro. Frit takes down Lagstro's horse with a couch. Flags pop. Very far away from the battle right now, but I think it's in walking distance of the few downed infantry.
Lang's got a long run ahead of him.
Yeah. He might get there before the time's up. African takes down Achilles. He's been eyeing that kill from the very start.
That's big. BKS needs this round right here.
And that Frit is on the flag right now, slowly raising in BKS's favor. WK is down 2. Calamity loses his horse. Low on health now. Geldon takes down Joe. Van lost his horse. Harn's trying to protect Van right here. Geldon's going for the bump stab on Van. And we got Frit and Tyrion. Frit goes down fast to create. Geldon takes down Vanadar. Tyrion's still on the flag by himself. African takes down Calamity. Good hit. Harn is coming in again. Nice hit by Geldon on Tyrion. And it's African and Harn versus Lagstro and Wiley. That flag is mostly raised in BKS's favor. All BKS has to do is survive 8 seconds here. I'm sure they're telling them in their own chat. 2 seconds here. Doesn't look like WK is going to win this one. But they end up killing him, but didn't win the round.
Down to the wire. Super
So it is
intense
11-7. 11-7 in WK's favor.
BKS still looking hopeful. That's one thing. They're really not down. They're not out until they're out. They pulled matches back before, and I'm sure they still feel that they can with this one.
I'm just watching the chat in the stream about that, and they're all excited about that last round. I bet, man, that was a very close round.
Super intense. Winning by the master, which, man, that early work by Frit just gave him the edge. WK
Yeah,
was
the edge
putting
they
up
need
fast.
Wow, Lagstro just went through 5 BKS's horses all crashing down on him and survived it all. Big crash in the middle. PPK's horse goes down. Vanadar's horse goes down. African gets couches PPK. Wow, Kratok gets a good hit on Frit's horse. Frit goes down, very low health. We still got some conflict going. Achilles finishes off Frit. Kratok takes down Harn. Tyrion's horse is down, he's all by himself. And Calamity comes in, takes down Vanadar. That was a good hit from WK on horses. Lagstro loses his horse, but Calamity gets the kill. And now Tyrion is facing off against Lagstro, close range. Joe still has his horse up. Only BKS with his horse up. Raid horseless right now against Wiley. Joe loses his horse, comes from behind, takes him down. Tyrion goes down to Achilles Archer. Raid and African, last people up. African still has his horse. Not anymore. Achilles says no. And Kratok finishes him off.
That one archer providing the slight edge for WK. That's really a move I think BKS should have made. They're going in pretty down. They're definitely gonna need to come out strong as Serenid. Not saying it's over, but
I'm pretty sure it's actually over.
Unless it's over.
I think it's over. It is 4 sets, three sets, all in WK's favor.
Yep,
WK has won every set. So there's nothing BKS can do. They can get 12-11, but for right now, guys. It is WK's win.
It just happened in such a blur. Really snuck up on me, Boogie.
I'm not sure if BKS is going to play it up.
They're asking the streamers who were confused at first. So, you know, I don't feel so bad because the people playing the match aren't even sure that they won. So I don't feel so bad not knowing that they won. But yeah, absolutely.
Now when they don't even know if they've won yet. That's
3 rounds in favor of WK. Absolutely nothing BKS could do for the last one.
Yep, it's been the first set was BKS won 3 rounds. The second set BKS won 2 rounds. This set they've only won 2 rounds also. That is 7 rounds for BKS. WK has got 4 every time. 12-7 WK. They're out, even though we got to go through this whole ordeal of switching the map a bunch of times. We will continue to play it, and afterwards, fellas, we're gonna have a interview with Calamity, the leader of WK, and ask him how he feels about.
Heck, we might even see if we can get him in here a little early.
And the map switches continue. We'll stream it live here soon as they go live.
Love the reroll, Boogie. Love the rerolls.
It's just perfect. I mean, if we can't have a technical hiccup with Warband NA, we have to have the rerolls on random.
You know, that's right. Tonight, smooth sailing. Good to go, guys. Look at that. End of the season, final stream. We got this thing down pat.
I don't see anything. There we go. They're still re-rolling. I think this is the 7th or 8th re-roll. Don't worry about it, guys. We'll get you there. Keep on celebrating WK or crying if you're a BKS fan. You know, one of the two. I think this is the longest I've seen a re-roll on random planes. And there we go. That looks beautiful. So they're off to the battle. They are all cav dueling for honor's sake, I guess.
Well, the big thing is, really all match, WK lost 3 rounds, came back strong, and just really played strong for the rest of the time.
Yeah, I really think that first set really helped out WK. They got the momentum. They did a few aces on BKS, and that really turned the tide, in my opinion. If WK didn't win and came back 4 rounds in a row in that first set, I don't think we'd be sitting here just talking about how WK won. We'd still be wondering who's gonna win.
Definitely a lot different than their first meeting during the season as well. Still think that one archer would have helped BKS out.
It was very strange that BKS didn't make any adjustments to that last half too. They just kept the all cav approach and decided, hey, we're better cav, and let's win this one. But in the end, WK brought their skill and ended up winning.
I think it's good of these guys to play it out. Having a hard time focusing. It's kind of one of those, it's already done.
And it looks like Calamity and Wiley are going to come in and join us. Both of them are co-leaders of WK for the interview here after this last And we got Joe on the flag against Wiley. Now Achilles has to go against African and Joe. Takes down African. Facing off against Joe on the flag. It's a hard task to do. It's a nice kick in on Joe.
Oh, the feints. Oh, the feints.
He's looking
Swing,
like
Achilles. That's the only way to kill him. Swing.
Oh, we got an all cav versus all cav again.
Really, just you know, all cav is just a kind of a new strategy we're seeing. It used to be something people would default to when they didn't have anything better to do. Couldn't think of anything else. You know, here in UNAC, it's almost been a kind of the go-to with very few alterations. There's been a couple of matches where varied comps have worked out on open planes, but open planes, random planes, but just a lot of all cav throughout the tournament.
Is that just because of better cav play all around, or is it because people don't know how to switch up their strategy?
I think it's one of those things that cav leaves in mass. Cav has enough power in the open like this with limited cover to where it can kind of make up for a couple of skills, and it's by far one of the most powerful classes. You know, cav at the top, archer in the middle, as far as powerful classes in an open map goes. And I think just leveraging the numbers, you know, like I said, you know, in the third round, sorry, the fourth round in the last set, Achilles came in as an archer and was making shots and really, I think, turned the tide, made that round a whole lot easier by putting the pressure on the ground troops that WK had taken down. And I really think BKS could have done a lot with just one archer, with something like a strongbow, putting some horse arrows in the in those Serenade horse, softening them up, taking them down, just giving another focal point. So I think the shift has really come from, yes, people have upped their cav play. They're not just going out and dying immediately. I think a lot of people have learned how to play cav because of this. But at the same time, if your team doesn't know what they're doing, going all cav still isn't going to help you, if that makes sense. So there's definitely a finesse and a strategy that's involved in it. I wouldn't say people just finally realize the power, but I definitely have seen a number of times where people have leveraged it in UNAC.
Well, it seemed to work out well for WK. Both going against it and having.
And that was the other thing. WK went there immediately. BKS started with a high archer comp on the first round of that third set, and I wouldn't say it caught him off guard, but you definitely have to be prepared for all cav, especially if you're going to be running a mixed comp. So, you know, BKS did it well. They got their guys into the trees as fast as they could, but it was still couldn't quite see it, but it was still almost a just a surprise to them. With all the WK cav coming in.
Good bump by our fellow streamer Kratok right there. Knocks down hard. We'll see how this finishes up here, guys. Looks like WK is gonna win it again.
I'd say one of the biggest things, you know, when Raid thinks back on the match, and you do, when you're in a finals and you don't come out the victor, or even when you come out the victor, you think back on it. But I think one of the biggest things is that first set, when you're up 3-0 and you lose 1 or 2 rounds, and he's gonna think of all the things he could have done in that situation. I think that slow to adapt was one of the things that really kind of hurt BKS throughout the match. That first set and that third set, a little bit more adaptation could have made things a little bit different.
Yeah, they didn't change their strategy at all, as much as I thought they would.
They really didn't have an answer for the 3 cav WK was bringing to the table with the Great Lances. If it was another faction that didn't have Great Lances, something like that, then you know, I could see the infantry doing really well. It was just that range just takes that advantage away from the infantry. Really, you know, the best counter to a Great Lance is a ranged unit, whether that's Jazz or whether that's an archer.
Yeah, well, they had some archers, but their archers weren't taking down the horses, or they just didn't have the shots on the horses as much, and then they just didn't do any cav work, and they could have done cav work, but they.
So
Blackstro versus 5 BKS, right?
That's all those coulda, woulda, shoulda things.
I think he's just gonna be running around in circles and try to pull off a silly maneuver right there. Goes down to jail.
Gonna hit the brakes, so fly right by us.
All right, Maverick.
Bringing him in closer, Merlin. You're gonna do what?
Wow, I'm surprised you know the guy's name.
That's my era, man. Old school.
And WK switches up their comp. Got 3 archers right here. It is 14-9, WK's favor. BKS did a great crash right there, took down most of WK. She took down all their archers. Achilles is the only one left.
Did a great job couching at the air there.
You know, if I had to say one person won the map for WK, I couldn't tell you who it was. I think Geldon did a great job, Achilles did a great job. Calamity, of course, always does a great job. It seemed like it was a good all-around effort from WK.
Yep, number of playmakers. Really,
And,
on
you know, that's not expected.
on random planes, one of their staples was Lagstro.
Yes, Lagstro is a very good cav, although he's known for his headshotting ability as an archer. He's still a great cav.
I guess he finally got bored of going nothing but Vega Archer, and decided to try the horsey thing out a little.
WK trying to bring this one to a tie here. Joe just knocked down both Wiley and Achilles' horses with 2 jabs. This one's gonna finish up. Looks like it's a 4v3. Joe has his spiked club out.
That's pretty ballsy. Beer making an appearance, Barrel making an appearance.
He was not used actually at all until the end of the map. And when WK won, they brought in beer.
And that's when I use beer, when, you know, after I've won and celebrating.
So that's his only use for celebration. We'll bring in beer when we're celebrating, because that's what we only need.
Now see,
either that or for depression. Winning or losing.
Winning a warband championship is much different than you know, winning a baseball championship, because you don't want to spray champagne all over your computer. So if any of the WK is doing that right now, please stop.
Oh well, if you are, before you stop doing what you're doing, first take a lot of pictures or videos and send them into Gmail, or our Gmail account, which we don't have, but I will definitely make one for it if you guys are doing.
Let us know in chat. Somebody donate a Gmail account for this to happen.
BKS saying they didn't secure their retirement fund.
You're gonna see an old, aging raid in Spectator on Palm as a greeter.
As a greeter, yeah. Alright, well, this is the last round, and we'll bring you the interview with Calamity and Wiley. Why are they so awesome?
We can't ask them that.
You're right, you're right. Wiley, why were you almost 0-4 in the first round?
There you go, that's a good one. We should ask the guys in chat, do you guys want a positive interview, or do you guys want to, hey, what took you guys so long to win?
Do you want a roast or an interview?
Exactly. We could do both. Or either. Looking for the infamous kick.
They're going for
yes.
it. They're going.
This is the only way to roll.
They got it. Celebration kick win.
It's good to see that legacy still lives on.
And there you have it, fellas. West Knights, the winner of the first United
North American Championship. I got you, Boogie. Those acronyms.
Hang tight shortly, and we will do what you ask of either roast or interview the Wily and Calamity duo.
Looks like they're lining up
So,
for
Matt-
the championship photo.
Well, I think we're not showing that, but they are doing a championship photo right. $11 strong, WK.
Real quick, the viewers got any specific questions in chat? Or specific questions? Go ahead and throw them in chat. We'll try and get those, work those in there. Very nice, E-Man.
That is a nice one.
Yeah, we should be getting those guys in here any moment. Vopal says his MVP prize goes to Calamity. I say he's just a fanboy.
Of course. I mean, did you see how many times he ran away from conflict and just hid in the corner?
Exactly. It's easy to pad that KD ratio when you're hiding.
Alright, looks like we're going to have these guys joining us right now. Please stay tuned. We'll interview the champions, Calamity and Wily.
They really are coming, guys. This isn't technical difficulties or anything. I think they had to download TeamSpeak or something.
Well, I see Calamity in the chat program, but he's not moved down. Maybe E-Man can do it. Can you move him down? Cannot move him down. Do you have the password on this server?
User joined
Or
your
in this
channel.
channel? There we go.
There we go.
Welcome to the amazing streamer channel, Calamity, and congratulations on the Congratulations, Wiley, on your win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys recording this?
Yes, we are. We have 30 people watching you speak right now, so beware.
I'll keep it PG-13.
Testing.
Yes.
Is this thing on? Congratulations, guys! You guys have won the first United North American Championship, and who Calamity is the head of? Conspiracy? I think so.
Ah, man. All these accusations, I can't take it.
All right, real quick, we gotta get down to the serious question: who's a better calf, Cal or Wiley?
Well, I think you just look at the stats for the season and you can base your opinions off that.
Well,
Yeah, so
Yep.
speaking about the stats, we did see you run away like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times throughout the match to pad your KDR.
Standard fare.
Was there a question there, E-Man? Boogie?
I think we need to put a asterisk next to your #1 place in the KDR.
Do I look like Alex Rodriguez?
I do not know.
He's been
Character
using
may
all
look
sorts of performance-enhancing techniques this whole tournament.
Oh
Whether
man,
it's,
are you? Is this an performance enhancing tech?
all right.
We call this superior strategies.
Let me get my hand back on the wheel of this thing. So congratulations, you guys. Very different than when you guys faced BKS in the round robin. Did you guys learn something for that, or really what changed for you?
Well, in terms of our last match against BKS, I mean, we chose Reverend Village the first map, and then they chose Random Plains the second. And I went through that stream with a fine-tooth comb, and I mean, we kind of picked apart, different moments where people could have done something differently or made different decisions, and most importantly, how we could have played the flag a little bit better. And we just tried to kind of wrap that into a cohesive strategy. But I think everybody on the team watched the stream except for maybe Cal.
What?
Well, that's always helpful. Besides, Glam.
We really didn't take them for granted. We knew that we were facing a really tough opponent. And we knew that everything that we were doing the whole season, we had to bring to the finals to beat them. They're a really, really good team, and they demonstrated that by their performance in the second half of the season.
Watching some of these streams, at least in my opinion, you can see where kind of small mental mistakes or, small decision-making mistakes, cost you rounds or cost you the match. And watching our match against BKS, you can see a few where we lost, some close MOTF spawns, or times where a cab or an archer rather, was just kind of like hanging out, not getting any shots. So, like I said, we worked with our guys. We all kind of ran through it, figured out what we needed to do differently. Hope we could bring it into the finals.
Gotcha.
So, do you think the stream watching really paid off right here? Did you?
Oh yeah, I
Archer.
I guess I'll take this opportunity to thank you guys for doing such a great job. It was a lot better, and it's always been my constant complaint. There's never any streams of any of these warband matches. Going all the way back to when we started playing. And these streams have been awesome. It's great to, ignoring the strategic benefit of watching them as a team, it's just a lot of fun. Sit down with your guys and laugh about when Cal crashed into a wall and got stabbed, or when, Lag TK'd somebody, or, it's just a good team building event.
Yep, definitely.
I hope Mad Dog was, inebriated during this event. I haven't watched the stream yet, but I'm just saying.
Well, he might have sobered up just a little bit, but we can hope he had something.
These nasty rumors that fly. You guys were down 3-0 in the first set, and you just buckled up and said, "Hey, we're going to win this no matter what." Started changing some stuff up. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we were down, pretty badly. We don't, when we start to lose, we don't really get down on each other in terms of like getting all negative. We just try and pick out, what's not working. I'm sure as the people watching the stream will probably comment, they probably saw some of my horrible calf play, and obviously
you were fantastic, right?
Some minor adjustments, to
Minor.
to make sure it worked out the way we wanted it to.
Did you guys go in with the going into Swadia, choosing Frosty Battle? You guys have a had a game plan, I guess, that you were going for? Were you going for it early, or was that just something that kind of developed?
Well, I mean, we knew which map we wanted to play, and we'd been talking about it. We had tried to figure it out. We had a general idea of our loadout and what it would look like. Obviously, we move it around to, see what they do. But, I mean, historically, we've had a lot of luck on Frosty Battle. I mean, we played GA on it. We played GK in the CJTT playoffs on it. We've had a lot of success on that map, so we feel pretty comfortable playing it.
Gotcha. Going into random planes, who taught Lagstro how to play play Cav?
Leg has been.
He can do it all.
Leg has been improving like you wouldn't believe on Cav. He's really excellent. Everyone thinks he's the greatest archer, which I will say right now he probably is. But his Cav play is definitely improved, and he's in the top tier now, which me and Wiley are both and all of WK are proud of.
Yeah, that was good.
Last time we played Random Planes, we had Achilles running as the lone archer. I was watching the stream and listening to you guys laugh as he was trying to, sprint for the flag every round. So that's one of those, small mental changes that we made coming into this match. We didn't leave poor Achilles.
Now, speaking of which, you had Achilles come in as the lone archer again at the last 2 rounds, and that.
That was totally impromptu. Achilles just can't keep the archer blood out of him. He was supposed to be going Cav, but he decided he wanted to give it a shot, and
That was Achilles going Rambo mode, yes.
Yeah, essentially Achilles is like the trixiest little archer I've ever seen. He's just ridiculously good at staying alive. His shots are great too, but there's a lot of times where I see 3 Cav coming and couching, and he'll just, like headbang, jump, and run off. And it's kind of confusing how he even made it out of there, so. That was him taking some initiative and stepping up.
He definitely actually played a big part in that at the end. He took down a few Cav for the deciding round that made you guys win. And we were just as confused as you guys were when it came to round wins and if you guys won or not on that last bit. It just felt very close the entire.
Well, you saw Varel playing, right? The beast mode Varel.
Yeah.
He hasn't
played
played
like
in
months.
1 or 2 UNAC
up.
matches, and he just comes in there killing 3 people in the first round. It was pretty awesome. No, I mean we were very confused at the first swap of random planes there. Luckily, we had the numbers down and we took it home.
So, do you have any plans for the prize?
Well, there's some shirts that are being decided at this point. We're not really saying anything yet.
There's some merchandise disseminating. Circulating around the internet right now that we might try and secure, so we'll have to pick it out. PPK made a bet with Cal that if Cal went the first map without dying, which I believe he did, then P would buy him any game he wanted off Steam. So unfortunately, P is now bankrupt from a Train Simulator 2013 purchase.
I did send him a message because I have 500 Steam games. I really don't think I need any more. But I am going to make him pay for a charity of my choice, so at least it's going to a good cause.
Don't let him fool you. He just didn't want Train Simulator.
I was about to say, besides that Train Simulator, I mean, you at least got to go for a Euro Truck Driver.
I think Calamity already owns it.
No,
That's
actually, I don't own that. But
Well, that's cool, guys. Congratulations. What else? Do you guys have anything else for us? Anything you want to say? Where are you guys going on vacation? You going to Disneyland?
Well, Mad Dog, me and Wiley had the options. I think we were going to sip some cocktails with a hat in Hawaii. I know you really like that too, but
Well, high five Jess while we're over there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I assume you guys are going to come to
Make
the next tournament and defend your championship.
Yeah, we hope to. I mean, it's, obviously as Warband enters its, the later stages of its life cycle. I mean, it's probably been here for a while, right? But, hopefully Bannerlord comes out soon, but, I mean, we don't play as actively maybe as we used to, but we still play enough, obviously, to stay competitive. So I expect that we'll make another showing in UNAC Season 2, which I hear Kervin might be spearheading, so we'll, see where it goes.
And if you guys wind up on the beaches of Hawaii, make sure to, snap me a selfie.
You don't want to see Cal.
what's your favorite drink, Mad Dog? You want a mojito?
So,
I think he wants some.
well, cool guys. Congratulations. Big time win versus BKS. And really everyone during the season, real strong record, 11-2 throughout the season, and then going 2-0 in the finals and taking the championship. Not doesn't get much better than that. So congratulations.
Yeah, we should really have a plug for the other teams too. I mean, GA, Balian, and TMW put forth major efforts, and congratulations too. It's hard to get there. I really wanted to face Balian in the finals too, so I know there's only 4 teams, but you know, it is what it is. There's only 4 out of 5, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And it was a really fun tournament, really entertaining to play. And I mean, hats off to BKS. At the beginning, everyone thought that they'd show up rusty or maybe a bit out of shape, and they did when they first got here. But they obviously stepped it back up and returned to the form that we all knew they could get. So I mean, they were great opponents. They were a really fun team to play, and probably one of our favorite opponents, I'd say, throughout the season. So hats off to
Well,
them.
you guys definitely had a few good matches with them, both the early one in the season and now this championship.
Thank you.
We hope to see them again. Thank you, guys.
Yep, absolutely. So, with that, guys, we're gonna wrap up the stream for tonight. Very awesome match. Really close match despite the end score. A lot of rounds just came down to the last second. Both teams played it really smart, and WK came out on top as the winners of UNAC, the winners of the prize money, and really the winner of the Tail Worlds Forums EP Trophy.
I gotta get Maine
The
to
most
generate a
important.
graphic for that. It'd be great to pass it around.
I already have that.
Oh,
I'm gonna be making a thread tomorrow, so look forward to that, guys.
So, cool, guys. Well, that's Boogie. You got anything, bro?
No, congratulations to WK and BKS for making it that far. And hopefully we see you guys next season at UNAC Season 2.
Awesome. We're wrapping this up. E-Man, take us out of here.